Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Adelaide and I'm the African Print Business Coach. So I've got a lot of sunlight to my face. I've been trying to move around, but I'm hoping this works for you guys, okay? Anyway, so let's get into today's video. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the two top social media platforms that you got to make sure when it comes to running your African fashion business. So we'll be looking into a little bit more into Instagram and Pinterest. And the reason why I love these two platforms because they have helped me a lot when it comes to getting more sales on a daily basis, when it comes to driving traffic, driving more traffic onto my website. And then I'm going to tell you guys why it's important, how can you use it, and what kind of result you could be getting if you're using it correctly. So let's get straight into Pinterest first. I know a lot of people don't feel too familiar using Pinterest, and that is because in general it has a much lower number of audience on it. So when you're thinking about Facebook, you got over 2 billions active users on it on a monthly basis. When it comes to Instagram, you got up to 1 billion active users. YouTube, you got 1,800,000,000 active users, and on Twitter, you got 327 million active users. Okay, so when it comes to Pinterest, you have about 275 million active users, which is a lot more less than all the other platforms, but actually it can have a massive impact when it comes to your customers deciding to whether go ahead and buy something or not. Now, why is this? This is because the Pinterest is not really a vanity social media platform. It's more used for people to actually get some inspirations, advices, or to actually plan themselves on what they like to do in the future. So, for example, let's say I'm planning to go to a wedding in the next 6 months. Okay, so these people that are mainly planners, they go on Pinterest and they typing in African print yellow dress for a wedding. Okay, so these people, they only go on Pinterest with the intent to look for an outfit and to eventually buy it if everything seems okay to them. So this is the reason why you want to really make sure you have Pinterest as part of your business strategy. Now, how are you going to use it? What can you write? What can you be promoting? So the very number one thing to keep in mind when you start using your Pinterest account, make sure that you're using only keywords when you're naming your pins. So I do understand that you might have names that you use for your product, your collection. Maybe you could have something like the Lide Ankara dress or the Rashida Ankara blazer, whatever that is. But you want to make sure you don't use those names because your customers, or should I say your dear customer, they do not know the names of your product. But they do know they are looking for the Ankara blazer, African print blazer, African print suit, and so on. So that is why you want to make sure you're using those keywords when you're naming your pins. So ask yourself, what is your dear customer going to be typing in on the Pinterest account when they're looking for your own type of products? Think about it in this way. Pinterest is not really a social media account, it's actually a search engine optimization, just like Google. So people use it to be looking for mainly information, inspiration, ideas. So now what you're going to do, you're going to make sure you make it easy for your potential customers to find your products. Because once they are in the mindset of looking for a particular type of product, and then you are able to display your own product as the solution to the problems, then it's not going to take a long while for them to actually make a purchase. But you gotta make sure you use the right type of words, the words that people are more likely to be typing in when they're looking for your own type of product. So keywords. Keywords are what they're going to be used to name your pin. So pin is a term that they use on Pinterest to describe any item that you're promoting on your Pinterest account. So with Instagram, I'm really using posts, and then with Pinterest, I'm really using pins. Now on Pinterest, these pins can be subcategorized under collections that are called boards. So basically it's kind of visually descriptive. So you basically have a board, okay? So let's say you have a real board in your hands, and then on that board you got loads of piece of paper. Then just pin it on it like a reminders for yourself, and that's like the same concept that the people that created Pinterest had in their mind. So they created this amazing platform where people can just pin different topics, different notes, and they can just put it all under the same board. So when using Pinterest, you can also create a different board. So let's say, for example, you want to create a board for each collection that you might have on your line store. So you can create a board that's called the African Print pants, or you could be creating a board that's called African print accessories, or you could be creating a board that's called West Africa traditional clothing. Whatever that is, do make sure they kind of all come on the same category, because you're actually making it a lot more easier for the users to find your product, to find your pins. And you also kind of want to make sure that you have a well detailed description. So when you're creating your board on Pinterest, you have the option to add a good description, and in that description, do try to add as many keywords as you can. So you do, in that way, you're really optimizing your Pinterest account. You're making it a lot more searchable, and when your Pinterest account is more searchable, then you're increasing the chances of improving the traffic onto your website. So with Pinterest, you have the option to link a landing page, to link a website to your pins. So you want to make sure your website page, your landing pages, they are good quality. You want to make sure these are not broken links. You don't want it to land onto a 404 page, because that will only make a bad impression to the customers, and the easier to come across again your website, they will not be as willing to move forward with checking out your website. So you really want to make sure that every website page on your Pinterest account, it's is working. Okay, it's not broken link, and always try to go through your traffic on a daily basis and try to see if you're getting any traffic from your Pinterest account. Most likely, if you're optimizing your boards, your pins, and using the keyword of someone, you should be able to be seeing some type of traffic coming from Pinterest. People are always on Pinterest looking for outfits, looks, especially when it comes to African fashion industry. People are using words like Ankara dress, Ankara long dress, African print maxi dress, African print head wrap, and so on. So you really want to make sure you're also using Pinterest as part of business strategy. Now, with Pinterest nowadays, I think for the past 2 years or so, they've also added the option for you to be adding videos. So if you can also be adding good quality of video, that you're making your account, you're actually, I'll explain it, you're making your account stand out a little bit more among all the other African print accounts. So you really want to make sure you're also adding some videos if you can. When it comes to pictures, guys, don't go use pictures that are looking edited, that are looking filtered, that are not clear. Always use top quality pictures, because those pictures are what is going to capture the attention of the users that are looking through the products, they're looking through product from your own type of category. So you really want to make sure that the picture is good enough and it's really eye-catching their attention. If you're using pictures that maybe are not really clear, they're a little bit blurry, or the colors are not looking too good, or it's black and white, or just something that's not really showing off the colors of your African fashion clothing, they kind of just, you will just be seeing your potential customers scrolling by to the next picture that actually looks better, and it's got a better description, and it actually has all the details that are needed to make sure they have optimized the Pinterest account correctly. I'll also, so yeah, do make sure you have a working landing page, make sure you got good pictures, make sure you got descriptions on your boards and on your pins, and yeah, and also storytelling. So when you're looking into creating your boards, okay, you can also look into the option of you actually telling a story with your picture. So let's say, for example, you are mainly selling head wraps and bonnets, okay, so head wrap, bonnet, and possibly organic ingredients such as jojoba oil and shea butter. So you might be creating a board that actually says how to style head wraps. On that particular board, you'll be sharing loads of pictures from your brand, okay, or different brands. It's totally up to you. My advice, with Pinterest, you can use both the options to have a picture from your brand and other brands. You can really do it. You can have both the options, but do make sure that if you're adding a picture from different brands, don't just upload it yourself. Just use the option to repeat it from the other accounts. Okay, so it doesn't look like you're just stealing content from other brands. You don't really want to do that. But what I'm trying to say to you guys in here is that you could be using the feature of the storytelling. So when I say feature storytelling, what I mean is that you decide to create in boards depending on what topic you kind of want to put all the pictures on them. So let's say, for example, you got the board with women styling the hair up in different ways. So the particular board, you'll be adding loads of pictures with women mainly styling hankaras, maybe with a buckle here at the front or at the side, or whatever you want to do. But you kind of want to make sure that you do have we kind of want to make sure that that you do have at least your pictures from your own brand. You got your website set up in there, and make sure that you're still finding a way to drive traffic onto your website onto your Pinterest account. So storytelling is really key. So in a nutshell, Pinterest can be really life changing. I actually know someone who mainly uses only Pinterest to drive all her traffic, and she's been getting very good results. And the second tool I want to talk about today is your favorite one, most likely, which is Instagram. So I said to you guys initially, Instagram has currently about 1 billion active users, which is massive. It's literally 1/7 of the whole world population right now to speaking. And as you can imagine, people are always on it on a daily basis. But you got to realize that the fact that you have a lot of people using Instagram to for their own personal reasons, you're also having over 25 million active businesses on Instagram. So whatever you do with your Instagram page, do make sure it's intentional, number one, and do make sure it's making your brand stand out. If you're all posting the same type of pictures with very similar styles, but with the same type of fabrics, they will never ever gonna stand out at the eye of the public. And as a matter of fact, right now there are pretty much at least 5 or 10 top African fashion brands. And every time someone actually every time your ideal customer is on the Instagram page and they're coming across your post, best believe they will come across the post of the older, bigger African fashion brand, and or else they have some type of affiliation with your own brand, or they bought from you already. They genuinely like your brand. They are more likely to go on the page of the bigger brand and check out those links and buy from them. So what that means is that that we are mainly small business owners, we need to work double to, number one, capture the attention of the user on Instagram, and number two, making sure we have such a good content. So content creation is really your currency when it comes to you marketing your business on Instagram. So you want to really make sure you got very good content that's really pushing people to go and check out the website on your biography. So why is Instagram so powerful? Instagram is a powerful tool that is really is actually helping people to set trends. So, for example, back then, I think it was summer 2019, so last year, I was seeing a lot of people rocking bike shorts, and I kind of feel like having been able to see so many influencers or just normal everyday people rocking bike shorts actually made it a lot more quicker and easier to have this bike short as a very important, not important, as a very used staple of the summer fashion 2019. So that's just an example on how you can see one particular item was easily used as a trendsetter during the summer of last year. So Instagram can be very powerful for that. And when it comes to your fashion business, you want to use it to post your pictures and your behind the scenes, but you kind of want to find a way to spark conversations. You kind of want to make sure people are talking about you continuously, because nowadays with Instagram, no matter how good is your content, if you're not able to get at least 10% of your followers to engage with your post, then automatically Instagram is going to reduce the reach. So even though you're thinking, oh, this picture is amazing, it was captured under amazing lighting and all of that, if your followers are not really responding in a way that they're actively engaging with your content, then Instagram reduce the reach, which means less people will see it, and which means you had to pay to be able to place your content in front of the faces of your dear customers. Okay, so you want to really make sure that, number one, the quality of your pictures, the quality of your content is top notch. Okay, you really want to make sure that people kind of able to see themselves wearing what you're selling. So with African fashion, it can be a little bit tricky because we're kind of all selling, I wouldn't say similar things, but in a way they are. So a lot of brands are mainly doing maxi dresses, a lot of brands are mainly doing blazers, a lot of brands are mainly doing tops and so on. But it now becomes your own job as a business owner to really make sure that you are showcasing all the features, all the benefits of your brand. Okay, I'm gonna close the window real quick. Okay, enough with the noise. So, as a matter of fact, a third of all the Instagram users, they actually bought something, they actually bought the clothing after seeing it on Instagram. So nowadays, you're going to hear a lot of people telling you, oh, I've seen that top on Instagram, let me go check them out. It's a bit like someone saying to you, oh, I've seen my friend Paula wearing that top. Let me go ask her where she got it from. That's kind of really how people tend to view Instagram nowadays, which is why you really want to make sure you are actively using it for your business. But it's not really all about you trying to post and promote 3 or 5 times a day. It's really you making sure you got that very good content, that content that's really pushing people to drive engagement onto your page to the point that you're able to create a bit of a viral content, a bit of a viral post that is actually pushing people to check out the link on your bio and to make a purchase. Okay, so yeah, I've got a couple of notes by the way in case you wonder what I'm looking down. Um, so when it comes to African fashion industry, Instagram is very much well suited because it's a visual app. Okay, people check it out to look for outfits, or people posted their own outfits. You've got influencers as well and so on. So it's a visual app, and you have more of a visual community. So what that means is that people tend to buy as a result of needing to feel like they're part of a community because they want to belong, or because they want to be part of the trend, they want to be left out. And that's the reason why you kind of want to make sure that even when you're creating your own pieces, do try to still stick to what is in vogue during that time of the year. So before I start creating my fashion collection, I kind of like, well, it depends whether it's a summer collection, autumn collection. I kind of like to do, obviously I do follow a lot of fashion trends and a lot of fashion news. I do some research on Pinterest, for example. There you go. I read quite a few fashion magazines, and I definitely knew that puffy sleeve was going to be a big deal of summer 2020. So I made sure that I've added a couple of tops onto my summer collection for this year. So I kind of just an example on how I made sure I was creating a piece that was going to be part of the trend of this year. Okay, pushing people to really go ahead and making that purchase because they're thinking, oh, this is actually what I've been looking for. Oh, this is actually still, it's got puffy that's actually the kind of stuff that's really in vogue right now. Let me get it. I already know how I'm going to wear it. So you kind of really want to make sure that always keep in mind that Instagram is an amazing tool for trendsetters, and it's also really good for you to be able to actually keep up with trends and with styles out there. So how can you use Instagram for your business? You can use it to be mainly promoting brand awareness. So for those people that do not know about you, you kind of want to be making sure you're promoting whatever you are. So if you have any particular cause or charity that you are supporting with your brand, do make sure you are mentioning that on your Instagram page. If maybe you are working as part of a team with 5 people, you can also talk about that as well. People like to know who's behind the brand. We can't just tell them that there's not a robot behind the brand. There's not there's not like a Chinese robot or something like that. So they kind of want to make sure there's indeed a real person, because when they feel that kind of confidence, knowing there's a real person behind the brand, then they feel more comfortable in actually checking the website and making a purchase. Most times people don't buy online because they just don't trust the website. Okay, it just looks too good to be true. They don't know who's behind the brand. It probably has no exchange or return policies, and they're thinking if I do invest my money on that site, then how confident I am they're going to be receiving my orders. So because of that, you want to really make sure that you are spending enough time in brand awareness. I see a lot of people just pushing, just hard selling. Yo, buy my dress, buy my blazer, buy my top is on sales. But that actually never really works because people are looking for true genuine engagement. And if you're always trying to sell to your customers, they're just making it real hard for people to go ahead and check the link on your website. You kind of want to make sure you're somehow sparking some type of conversations. Okay, so maybe if you might want to look into working with an influencer to do that. You might want to be looking into having a professional photo shoot with models, with good lighting, with your product, and really making sure that creating such a good content that just cannot be passed by. Okay, something that you guys want to do with your Instagram, you want to be posting your product pictures or product features. When I say features, I'm really referring to you trying to explain to your customers why your products are going to solve the problems. So let's say, for example, I am mainly working on creating an African fashion brand for corporate America. So what that means is that I'll be looking into really creating blazers, midi skirts, pants, high-waisted trousers, long coats, and so on. Okay, so I could also be thinking maybe I want to be adding some pockets inside the jacket so women can easily put in there their phones if they wanted to, maybe like an extra set of pockets at the side. So why am I doing that? So they're able to hold the phones when they're working in the office, or maybe they want to be looking into holding the key of the lockers, whatever that is. I am mainly creating a collection while I'm keeping in mind my dear customers, and I'm making it very easy for them to see me as a solution to the problems than then just going and buying their product from someone else's. So when you're posting your Instagram page, don't just post, I got this available, come and buy. Actually post, explain to them the reason why they should buy from you. Show them that you are the solution what they've been looking for. Okay, and it usually always works to really focus on you talking about the pain points and the frustrations of the customers that you just go into this about in selling them. Oh, I have this, I've got that, I can do this, I can do that. People don't really care. The question that they have in mind is, what is this going to do for me? What is going to do for my business or for myself? How can I work this? How can I work that? So as you can see, the people that are on Pinterest, they're a lot more different from the people that are on Instagram. However, people that do buy from Instagram, they have a spending power of at least 65 USD dollars per person. So what that means is that if this is done correctly, then you're really able to get your money up by only using Instagram. So I've also actually experienced that myself. There are times in which I've had a new college coming in, and I've not really had the time to really promote it properly on through Facebook ads or maybe through my email marketing. So I'm just putting my Instagram saying, hey, 24 hours, I've launched a new collection. Be I don't know, be ready or something like that. And then when I do launch, okay, within 3 months, within 3 hours, sorry, I'm definitely seeing a lot of sales coming through for those new products. So that is just a very typical example of the power of Instagram for your business. But it now becomes your own job to make sure you know how to use it for your business. And yes, when it comes to Instagram, lifestyle pictures usually do really well. Okay, so you don't really want to focus too much on just taking a picture of the products on a white background and maybe just a blazer or anything like that. Those are good for your website. But when it comes to your Instagram marketing strategy, you want to be including mainly lifestyle pictures. So maybe it could be a picture of someone wearing your top while they're going to the shop, while they're walking on the street, while they're in the house watching TV, while they're playing sports outside, while they're taking out the dog, while they're going out for a walk with the child. Whatever that is, you want to really make sure people are able to see themselves wearing your product on a daily basis, because we don't really get to look like models, and people want to be able to relate to what they're seeing on the internet. So the best way you can do that is by mainly providing lifestyle pictures. Another way for you to push in your content on Instagram is by mainly using user generated content. So what that means is that they're usually pictures, post videos from your past customers or from people that look like everyday people, because again, that is somehow showing customers what the products, how they can use their product on a daily basis. So, and it's also kind of better um, than you just having maybe influencer to be working your product, because with the everyday people, we all look different. We come in different colors, we come in different shapes, we come in different sizes, and because of that, as long as the person is rocking the product from your own brand, people appreciate that a little bit more. Okay, user generated content can also be feedbacks or reviews from the customers. So you could decide to just leave that on your website, or you could decide to actually export that and put it on your Instagram page. People tend to trust a lot more. Um, People tend to trust a lot more past customers than the actual business. I mean, as a business owner, you will definitely be telling people, I am the best at what I do. I've got amazing quality. I've got lots of colors. I've got all that you're looking for. Come and buy from me. But people don't really fall for that. They really want to hear someone like them that tells them, yo, this brand is amazing. The shipping was super fast. The quality are mind blowing. So you really want to make sure that you're able to get that kind of feedback from your customers who are also willing to share their feedback regarding your own brand. Something that also drives sales a lot, or should I say, that somehow increases the loyalty, the credibility of your brand, is by you promoting behind the scenes. So show them the behind the scenes you're creating content. It could be your photo shoot, it could be you receiving your stock, it could be you packaging, it could be you talking to your customers. Whatever that is, you want to really make sure you're somehow showing them that different side of your business. Okay, and keep in mind, in Instagram is a fashion force that can really boost sales, but it's gotta be done right. And again, you'll be using hashtags, obviously. And when you write your captions, don't just rush like you're trying to get it out of the way. Actually, really take your time out to write a good caption, a caption that really gives you time to connect with your dear customers. What are you trying to tell your customer about your business? What are you trying to tell your customer about your product? How it is going to help them? How is it going to make their life better? Why do they need this in their lives? So these are all questions that you want to make sure you're answering when you're creating content for your Instagram page. Okay, you need to go more into detail because again, right now the game is attention. It's not really down to you having the best picture. It's really all down to you making sure that you are able to capture the attention of your customers. Obviously, we're all looking for positive attention. Okay, nothing more, nothing less than that. And let me just say that I spoke to you guys what I wanted to say. Yes, those really are my main point when it comes to using Instagram and Pinterest. And don't forget to use videos and GIFs for your Instagram page. So the same way I say to you guys that having a video on your Pinterest account is really going to help you to stand out, the same thing works for Instagram. Video marketing is here to stay and is about to take over the whole world. If you're able to find a way to market your business with the videos, so it could be just you talking to your customers, it could be maybe a video of you behind the scenes, it could be a video of you packaging your product, it could be maybe you creating a slideshow with loads of static pictures. If you can do any of these things, then you have a higher chance of actually driving sales or actually boosting engagement on your Instagram page, because engagement eventually turns into sales. But the way engagement turns into sales with Instagram, this is really how it works. So when people engage with your brand, they are in the mental state of falling in love with your brand. Okay, so they're getting to know about your brand, they like you what you're promoting, they like your values, they like your mission, they like your product, they're always commenting, they're always liking, they could possibly also be sharing your post, they could possibly also be saving it, they might have sent you even private direct message, they might even have checked out your website. So now all these people, they are what I call the warm audience. So they know about your brand, they are excited about your brand, but they still haven't made that purchase. So now it becomes your own job as a business owner to make sure these people that are part of your warm audience, they are moving on to become hot audience. Hot, hot, hot. So when you have the audience, what that means is that they start buying from you, okay? And then once they bought from you, it doesn't really end here. You got to make sure you are packaging the order as soon as you can, so they can still rave about your fast shipping service. And you want to make sure you continue bringing top-notch service to these customers. And that is how you're able to turn warm audience into hot audience. Okay, so this is it for me today. Very quick recap: Pinterest and Instagram. Pinterest customers, they're mainly planners, so they are pretty much ready to go ahead and making a purchase as long as they can find what they're looking for. Instagram people, it's more for vanity reasons, but again, it's an amazing tool to boost sales and for trendsetters. And you're really able to be getting a lot of sales as long as you're able to create very good content that's driving people to click the link on your bio and to make a purchase. So I'll see you guys at my next video. And by the way, guys, if you want to check out my resources on how to build your African fashion in the African fashion brand, check out the link in the box. I've got my website, and I also have my fashion website as well. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.